Here's the problem that I have with student loan forgiveness. A lot of people will not understand why I see this as detrimental to our American society. Here's the issue that I have. A lot of you will disagree with me because one, you have student loans, and two, you believe that the government should pay your debts because you're alive and you breathe air. Congratulations, you're so special. I worked hard. I went to college for 4 years. I paid all of my student debt off prior to graduating. I had to work security in malls. I had to work festivals for security, sleeping outside in tents with random strangers, cold, wet, staying up all night. I had to work in restaurants, not see my family on certain holidays, staying in school when everybody else was at home. I had to work with the school cafeteria, serving the same people that I went to class with, also that I can graduate with no debt. Receiving some scholarships, about $200 worth of book stipends, due to my hard work, due to my struggles in order to be successful. I am an advocate for hard work. I am an advocate for financial freedom. I'm an advocate for getting rid of bad debt, and student loan debt is bad debt. However, what you will see are working class citizens who have now either gotten no benefit from their student loans or they got massive benefit from their student loans, whether they're teachers, computer scientists, software engineers, computer engineers, lawyers, and doctors. There are benefits to be given because of that. With that being said, when people are of the mentality that they will go out and buy a car on a down payment, buy a house with payments, buy furniture with payments, buy phones with payments, obviously pay their internet, utilities, gas, electricity, HOA fees, Netflix and chills, and everything else, AT&T bills, and whatever else that they can possibly think of. All of those payments are just building up, and they were able to sustain that and then even put more on top of that due to the fact that they had their student loans held. And so they were able to purchase more house than they could afford. They were able to purchase more car than they could afford. In fact, they felt good and they got greedy. They didn't pay off their debts. Instead, they held it off. And they had no reason to pay off the debts because they thought that it was going to be forgiven. Because of that, you have angry people who now believe that they are owed something rather than a favor that was supposed to be provided to them. And what I see is a lose-lose situation for people who are waiting for student loans to be forgiven. One, you should have paid off your debts when you had the time. That was the benefit of having the pause, because that allowed you to pay off your debts with zero interest and actually get ahead without having to pay the interest or having any penalties. This would have allowed you to make smarter moves and actually get ahead of the game, whereas most people would have never had the ability to have their interest paused while they can still pay off debt. That was a very, very massive benefit that you had and that you could have taken advantage of. And it's not all your fault, but for those who are like me who understood that debt would not be forgiven, student loan debt would not be forgiven, We all understood that the little man doesn't really get those type of benefits. The government would rather give you cash than pay off your debt because they know that you are more likely to spend the cash than actually pay off your debt. In fact, if they gave you $10,000, you would rather spend that money than actually pay off $10,000 of debt. We all know that. We all know that. Even if your whole student loan debt was $10,000 and you got $10,000 in cash, maybe you put $1,000 towards your student loans and then do payments and spend the $9,000 on something completely different, because that is how some people operate. And the difference is that I cannot operate that way. I'd rather be debt free, interest free, and focus on cash flowing assets that generate a high profit for me with more income generating my way. I am able to live the life that I live because I don't have bad debt. And when I look at investments, when I look at plays that I can make, when I look at every single opportunity, I have to look at my agents, I have to look at the people that I surround myself with and say, you are not qualified to assist me in this matter. You are not qualified to help me better myself. In fact, I am not getting any better. I am not buying any properties. I am not buying any stocks depending on you. And at this point in time, I'm starting to see that a lot of people, you always have to have the mindset of, are these people going to help me get to where I need to go? If not, then I need to branch out. I need to expand. I need to diversify in a way that is beneficial. And right now, those of you who are waiting for your student loans to be forgiven, you are hoping and praying that someone bails you out, and it is not going to happen. It is not going to happen. We all knew it wasn't going to happen. Some of you are too young to understand that that wasn't going to happen. Some of you were screaming, cheering, saying, oh, I can't wait for my student loans, $10,000 to be written off, smiling from ear to ear, like a present just dropped down from nowhere to bless your life. And those of us like me who's paid over $30,000 in student loans, we're not going to get any benefit. I never took out a student loan, so I just paid $30,000 for room and board and all these fees as they came. I had to make sure to have $7,000-$8,000 for a 3-month semester. I was working. I didn't even make that in 3 months, so I had to pull from my savings. I had to still work just to stay ahead. Then I had to move off campus and live in a box. And when I lost my job, I was struggling. Graduated college with only $200 to my name. I did not feel good to graduate debt free. I did not. I did not drive home with $200 to my name after paying for gas, feeling like I had accomplished everything that I wanted in life, feeling like I was ready to conquer the world. No, I had to get a random job because I was so broke. I had to work 3 jobs, Pizza Hut, White Castle, Blaze Pizza, because I was so broke. I could not stay in my mom's house and be that broke. And then 2 months later, Amazon offered me a job, and I still had to work Blaze Pizza as a manager for about 6 months before I could actually fly out and work for Amazon. I was working 3 jobs, broke, trying to get my life right, trying to get my life good. And then it still took so many more years after that for me to be in the position that I am today. And then I just think 5, 10 years from now, what will all this hard work amount to? And I can tell you that it will amount to something tremendously great, because I am so far ahead of those who have not put in the same amount of effort, who have not put in the same amount of time, who have not put in the same amount of grind and consistency. So do not wait. Do not wait. Do not wait. It gets tough before it gets better. You have to be willing to survive the tough times so that you can enjoy the good ones. I'm at a point where I don't even really count money anymore. Like, it just comes in so quick, it doesn't even make sense. But in order to fill that, in order to get to that, you need to struggle now so that you're not struggling later. Do not count on student loan forgiveness. Do not count on that. And I say that with all sincerity. I could toot that horn and make you feel good inside and make you like this video, but that's not going to benefit you in the long run. That's not going to give you what you need. If you pay off the debts and then they still forgive it, guess what? You are debt free regardless. You don't want to spend your money on that. Guaranteed, I completely understand. But you also don't want to be in the same position you were 2 years ago because you didn't start paying on it now. Even if you put $10 every single month, that is less interest that you're going to pay for the rest of your life. You need to start now. You need to start now before that creeps up on you and you have nowhere to go. So if you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You know I post every single day at 8 a.m. daily, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.